Welcome to Everyone Loves Guitar, where we sit down and talk with interesting professional guitar players, uncover their stories, and discover what makes them tick. If you love guitar, music, and the backstory of people's lives, stick around. You're in the right place. The Be Fulfilled Journal helps you be more honest with yourself and with others and be more open to handling things you've avoided dealing with for years. It's a 12-week online and journal program that helps you identify and eliminate things you do that are causing you stress and live in more gratitude and joy. It was actually developed by a long-term friend of mine who got sober in 2008, and he's put together a great deal just for my listeners. You get the 300-page hardcover journal and access to the 12-week video program online, plus free shipping, plus membership in a private Facebook support group with others going through the program, plus a 5-day mini course showing you how to let go of stuff that's draining your energy, plus a 30-day 100% money-back guarantee. To start your journey and get all the bonuses, go to BeFulfilledJournal.com/ELG. That's BeFulfilledJournal.com/ELG. For information about advertising on Everyone Loves Guitar, including information on geographically targeted ads, go to everyonelovesguitar.com/advertise. That's everyonelovesguitar.com/advertise. Hey, everybody, this is Craig Garber. Welcome to Everyone Loves Guitar. I'm with the one and only YouTube sensation with Mike Bradley from the UK. He's a really good guy. And if I was as good looking as Mike, we'd be doing video. So I'm not. So therefore we do audio. And I just want to thank Jacob Quisgard for connecting Mike and I before we move forward. Mike's been playing guitar since he was 12 years old. Fresh out of school at age 16, he attended Academy of Contemporary Music in Guildford, and he completed a year-long diploma course being taught by some of the UK's top guitar players such as Guthrie Govan, Dave Kilminster, Eric Roche, and Jamie Humphreys. After finishing ACM, his life as a full-time musician began, playing in numerous bands, touring up and down the country, playing iconic venues such as the Shepherd's Bush Empire, the Astoria, the Underworld, and London's Jazz Cafe. His session work has led him to be working on a variety of projects, from performing live with Diana Vickers to appearing on TV shows, playing with the Vamps, Ricky Wilson from Kaiser Chiefs, Fergie from the Black Eyed Peas, of course, and loads of other different people. He's appeared in many TV commercials playing guitar as well. He loves being on stage performing, but he's equally at home when recording in a studio, and he's worked with Alex Van Suze from All Saints, Seal, and Atomic Kitten, Mike Horner from The Prodigy, Shakira, and Block Party, and Mike Chapman from Blondie, and Susie Quattro. God, I haven't heard that name in a long time. I remember being like 16 and seeing her in like a leather jacket and like falling in love in some guitar magazine. This is
the ultimate rock chick, isn't she?
Yeah. This is like late 70s. In 2015, Mike started to take YouTube seriously, and he started to really work on growing his channel. He now has over 60,000 subscribers and over 8.5 million views. His videos consist of lesson videos, reviews, day-to-day life as a musician, or videos of him literally pushing record and playing. He's also got a good Instagram channel. He's got 2 solo EPs out. They're called The Devil's on My Side, and this is what I have to say. The track The Devil's on My Side was picked up twice from BBC, introducing as their track of the day. He now has a great band behind him, and he's putting on shows in and around London. From teaching guitar to corporate gigs to high-profile sessions, Mike's really grateful to be able to be in a position to earn a living as a musician, and he gets to do the thing he loves the most every day, which is playing guitar. And all you women swooning over him, I must tell you, Mike is engaged to be married, but it's not for a year away, so
there's still time.
Send in your love notes and whatever it may be. Mike, thanks so much for coming on the show, man. I appreciate it.
Thanks so much for having me, man. I've been really looking forward to it.
Very cool.
So big fan of the show anyway. Thank
you, man. I appreciate that. What prompted you to focus on YouTube and grow that channel? I mean, good move to you. Smart.
Yeah. So I was kind of in between bands, shall we say, and I was trying to build up. Now I thought I want to make more money, so to speak. I was still scrimping and scraping kind of thing,
Sure.
And my main kind of income really was just teaching guitar, literally just teaching guitar. I didn't do any corporate gigs. I started trying to do sessions very sporadically, you know. And then so I started seeing a few people doing YouTube channels. Actually, one in particular we mentioned earlier, David Weinerman.
Yeah.
I saw his, and I met him in October, just gone.
Oh, at NAMM?
GitCon. Well, I saw him at NAMM, but it was at GitCon.
Oh, yeah, over in Germany?
Yeah, and I was like, mate, this is all your fault.
That's so fun. I had him on the show a long time ago.
Yeah, I remember listening to it. Yeah. And but I remember seeing his video, and he gave like tips of, and I told him this. You know, it was amazing to tell him this. You know, like how to start a YouTube channel, that kind of thing. And I thought, yeah. And my first video, I think I'd posted like a video once before, like in 2006, when YouTube first, just singing a song, whatever, you know. It's still up there. It's cringy. Well, it's there. If people ever want to, I just laugh at me. But I did like a stupid like public announcement video, like just advertising in my very strange humor, advertising that I'm available for guitar lessons if you want it, you know. And then I just thought, I'm just going to try and do this. And again, was very sporadic with it, just put it up here and there. This would have been about 2011, I'd say. And, every kind of couple of months, yada, yada, yada. And I kind of really took it seriously in 2015. That's when I was like, right, I want to make a go at that. I could just see that I look at YouTube as like the new television.
Absolutely.
If you think of, when I was a kid, I'd come home from school and I didn't have a computer when I was a kid, and I'd just put the TV on and, that was my world, so to speak, and the same for adults coming back from work kind of thing. Now, if you're a child or an adult, you come home, you've probably got the iPad on your lap or your Mac or something, your PC, whatever. We even got YouTube on the TV now, haven't we? And stuff, and that's what people do, like from cat videos to makeup to guitars to, watching people just hurt themselves. It's the your own TV network. And I remember just thinking that I can be my own TV channel, the Mike Bradley Show, to sound really corny, And,
no, but why not?
Yeah. And that's where the whole kind of, I would always say my name, it's kind of stuck, like, hi, Mike Bradley, I hope you're doing well. As always, it's like, like a catchphrase. I'd always think of like, TV hosts having a catchphrase all the time and things like that. And just things that make you stand out was a bit more unique, instead of just being a guy in front of with a guitar in front of a camera going, right, boys and girls, here's a G chord and
boys and girls.
Hello, boys.
Fucking Mr. Rogers.
Yeah, exactly, right. But yes, so that was that's a whole other YouTube channel right there, isn't it? But yeah, that's how it all kind of started, really, and then before I know it, I'm kind of still at it, kind of thing, and I'm always learning, always like picking up new editing things, just to keep it interesting, because we're all, like a game of YouTube, and you've got that skip button, and it's like the longest. We've got no patience anymore, have we? It's like after 5 seconds, it's like, come on, skip it, so you've got to try to keep people entertained and stuff, instead of just, sitting there strumming kind of thing. So that was how it kind of all happened, really.
A few questions for you about that. Excuse me. First of all, do you still do the things consistently, like, hey, Mike Bradley here, how you doing, or something like that?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, it's more of a habit now. The only time I don't do that if I'm just literally just playing the guitar and I'm not talking, and I'll just go off in a little improvisation, something like that. But yeah, if I'm talking, because I like to think of it as being someone's mate, their friend.
Absolutely.
Instead of it being very sterile, and there's some great guitar tutors out there, on YouTube and stuff or other socials, but sometimes they are a little bit more sterile on that, and that might be a good thing, might be a bad thing, each their own. Yeah. But I try and think of it as like, that I'm friends with everyone,
Yeah.
I like to think myself as a people person anyway.
Yeah.
And so yeah, fortunately or unfortunately, the hope you're doing well is always
no. Let me tell you something about that. I've published newsletters and put out content consistently over the last 20 years in probably 10 different industries, in projects I've been involved with or for clients. I mean, I've worked in 110 industries, but I'm just talking about putting out consistent content, right? So it's really important that you do those things, because it's kind of like, do you remember in the old days when they had newspapers? And you, right. And every day you read the newspaper and you know that the local shit is on the front page. Then world news is 4 or 5 pages into it. The business is towards the end, and then sports, right?
Sports at the back. Yeah.
Right. So if every day they change that shit up, you'd be fucked up, right? You wouldn't know.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So people actually look forward to that, and they want to have a sense of structure and a way to relate. So if you do something consistently, it actually sort of like anchors your listeners to you, because they're, you're giving them, whether you did it intentionally or not, you're giving them a structure with which this thing goes.
Yeah, I've never thought like that. That's
is
a good way of thinking. Yeah, absolutely. It's genius.
Well, I'm not, believe me, I'm just, it's an observation. Watch those big words. But like, I published a newsletter for 10 years every month, and we had, like, I always, we had the same format every month, and maybe once or twice I changed something, but because people would say, hey man, I always read this section first, or I always read, and even on the show here now, people say, I love what you say at the end,
right,
people validate that stuff over time. And the fact that it's grown that much is that you're giving people this comfort, because people they want to feel safe when they're watching something, and so you're giving them that environment of predictability, or and then there's some guys that are doing shit that's totally off the wall, but that's their shows and that's what people want. But even that is typically done within the same format of, okay, here, now's the nutty part, here's the part when I hit my co-host on the head and do funny joke, you know what I'm saying? So it's so that's a really good thing, actually, whether you knew it or not. It is. What is the bulk of you do a bunch of different things on there. What do you find tends to be people are most receptive to, and what have you found that people are not receptive to that you stopped doing over the years?
Yeah, you know what? That's a very good question, because it's something I'm always thinking and seeking. What I think, I'm like, okay, people want more of that, and then that stops. So the first video, I suppose, what went really big for me is still my biggest view. I did it was basically a Telecaster versus Stratocaster video.
A Telecaster, Telecaster versus Stratocaster video.
Yeah, Tele versus Strat. Yeah, but I did it with two of me, so I did a little split screen, and I had never done any edit. My brother's really good at editing. He does a little bit of YouTube here and there, and
are you twin? You guys aren't twins, or are you?
People think we're twins, but not twins. No, but he's 4 years younger than me. Yeah,
well, I saw some photo of you had up last week or something like. You didn't look like twins, but you just looked like brothers, obviously.
Yeah, because I've done. He's been in some of my videos. I tried teaching him for a while, about a year or two ago, but he's kind of given it. He's in India at the moment, so he's always he's got the travel bug, so he's cool. He gets around. Yeah, good for him. But he's really good at editing and computers in general, So I was a bit like. No, I'd kind of watch him how he's doing stuff. I'm like, all right. And I had this idea of doing, because I started seeing like that pedal show and some other channels there, like two people. And I thought, well, it's just little old me. I've got to do something so I can interact. I thought, well, just interact with myself. Why
That's
not,
really cool.
And I I was really into drama when I was a kid. So I've always liked acting, and I've always been very comfortable in front of a camera. So I just thought I'll give it a go, and it was a fucking nightmare. So like trying to get the camera to fit in both. I didn't know what I was doing. I was literally just playing it by ear, so to speak. But that video went nuts. I think that video alone's got about 1 million views or something like that.
That's awesome, man.
And so I was like, okay, I'll do more of that. But then I thought I don't want to saturate it by just constantly. And plus, it's a lot of work. Doing.
Do you find that editing is the killer, I'm assuming, on all this? The editing is where the blood comes out?
Yeah, filming, that's the easy bit.
I know. Yeah, it's the same thing with writing, man. Writing's easy, editing's fucking kills you, man. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I literally just, before I spoke to you, I just finished editing a video, what's to be going up tomorrow. It's just, it's just sitting there kind of doing that, But, so I often find those are good because again, it's an entertainment thing.
Yeah.
You know. And then the same when I started doing videos called like Itza. So I think the first one was It's a Hendrix thing I did, and that's literally just me. I didn't know what videos to do that week, and I thought, I'll just hit record, and I started playing, and then I pull it up. I thought, that'd be cool. I didn't know what to call it. I thought it's kind of a Hendrix thing. And I thought, I'll just call it that. It's a Hendrix thing, you know. And then that took off, and I was like, fuck off. Like, you know, all the time you think, right, let's try and do this, let's try and do that, and then something which was so off the cuff, and that did. So I thought, I'll start doing more of that, you know. Sometimes review videos don't do as well for me. They're kind of up and down.
But there's so many people reviewing so many products. It's like,
yeah. I try and
it's hard to create a differential.
Yeah, I try not to do too many. No, obviously I've got to the point where, you know, companies are kind of approaching me to do stuff. I'm very selective. I often say no more than yes because I generally don't. I'm not a fan of it, and I'm not going to be here like this is great, and then there's people who will buy it, and then they're like, what the fuck was Mike talking about?
Yeah.
You know, and so I'm very, very selective with what I. So if I do put it, generally I would get it myself. You know, but yeah, I'm very careful.
That's like very courteous to do that.
Yeah, I guess it's probably a British thing there.
No.
Like,
it's a per person thing because I had look, I talk about people's albums. They come on the show, right? And the reality is you can find in an album, a full album, 2 to 4 songs on almost any album that's good. But I will tell you what, I had somebody give me a record one time. It was a PR person. I almost never deal with them. This guy, I have a relationship. He's a nice guy. Doesn't waste my time. So, and I listened to this record. It was so fucking horrific. It was, just, and 2 of the songs on there, one of them was literally The Thrill Is Gone. Oh, okay. I mean, I'm like, how did you not call this The Thrill Is Gone a cover? I mean, and there was another song. And I called the guy. I said, listen, I can't have this guy on my show, man. I cannot. And he didn't even ask me why, which I thought was interesting, which is, I mean, why I don't deal with PR people usually, but I get it. You know, you can't like, I'm not going to tell people this album is great when I wanted to like, you know, shit it down the toilet. So I think that's really the right
good
thing.
On you as well, though, for saying to him, like, I'm sorry, man, but I just don't like it. You know, like, it's good on you. Because a lot of people either would probably ignore them and don't email them back or, you know, but yeah, so it's good.
Fuck that, man. Because you got to, look, man, you know, you want to feel good about, you did this in the first place because you enjoy playing guitar and you enjoy making videos. So now you're going to do something that you hate. It's just not congruent. It's not going to work. You know, you're going to feel like shit about it.
I didn't start it to be an advertisement or something like that, you know, so a lot of time, as guitar players, we all get very excited by gear and new things and stuff like that. So that if it's a product I generally like, I'd be like, look at this, fucking amazing, you know. Right. And I've got a face where people can kind of tell if I'm bullshitting or not, you know. I know I can even see it back myself. Like I remember once, I never posted it because a company sent me. It was, I won't say the name of the brand. It was like a Flying V, and it wasn't a Gibson. It was another brand, but it had Floyd Rose, and I fucking hate Floyd Roses. After playing guitar for 22 years, I still can't change strings on a Floyd Rose. I don't want to know how to. I hate them. Oh man! But they sent me this guitar, and this was right at the beginning. So I was just trying to take stuff. You know, I wasn't being paid for it or anything like that.
Yeah,
you know, so and but I was, you know, trying to get on with it. Then I snapped an E string on it. I was like, I've got to learn how to fucking change the string. You know, I'm trying to prick my finger, you know. And I did a video of it, and I was like, I can just see I've just got hate in my eyes, you know.
I have hate in my eyes.
So I literally deleted it, and I emailed, and I was like, I'm really sorry, I can't, you know. It looks crap, you know. And he was cool. He was lovely. He said no worries at all, you know. But
did you send he had to send the guitar back?
Oh yeah, I sent it. Yeah, I sent it all back. Yeah. I could just see. I just hated it, and I thought if I can see it, someone else is going to see it.
Oh, yeah.
So it's just not worth it, you know. So, but I mean, like I said, I do review, but yeah, I try not to push it, 1 a month, so if that.
Well, look, maybe if it was 3 a month or 5 a month, if it's sincere, what does it matter?
Absolutely.
If it's 1 a week or 2, if it's sincere and you're excited about it, great. But if it's like,
it's this, I understand completely.
And then I think there's a problem. So that's cool.
And
man.
I think people watch it because I'll watch other people's, and I think as a general public, that's what people think as well. As long as it's sincere, cool, hit us with it, because we all like seeing the new next thing, don't we?
Yeah.
But I find, but back to your original question, I find the kind of entertainment kind of, those 2 videos, 2 of me videos, or just generally playing, people seem to really like, and also the lessons as well. I do like kind of helping people and giving tips they might not have thought about, and then it makes me in turn want to find out some new stuff so that I can say to people, oh, look at this. Try this shit.
Yeah.
We all win it together, the way I look at it. We'll nick off each other and different players and things like that.
No, I think that's a healthier way to approach business in general. I mean, there's no it was funny early on when I started this show, I reached out to a few people, other sort of guitar shows, and I said, hey, would you like to cross promote? And one person responded, and we did a cross promotion. It was Matt. I'm having a brain fart. Matt from Australia. This is embarrassing. Anyway, we did. This is like really horrible. I got to look up his name. Anyway, but now we're kind of like the largest show, and some people have reached out to me now, which I'm cool with, but it's funny. I don't do you really think people are only going to listen to one podcast?
Yeah. Right.
I mean, seriously, so I have the same attitude. It's like, man, let's just, I'll promote you. You can promote me. It's great, man. I don't have any problem doing that. A rising tide lifts all boats. So I think that's a lot better.
That's good saying. I like that. Yeah, it's good saying.
I got a bunch of useless shit that comes out of my mouth, Mike. Don't worry. You can
man, you're preaching to the choir here. Don't worry about that. I apologize now for anything what I say.
One thing that I think is good that you do is you mix it up a lot. And one thing that you said, you're entertainment. You're in the entertainment business. People may come to you for one thing, like they love that lesson, they love the Telly versus Strat thing, but they're going to stay with you because you're interesting and entertaining. And I think by mixing it up like this, you do a really good job of keeping in that zone, sort of the entertainment zone.
Oh, I appreciate it. No, absolutely. And that is the best way. It is entertainment, like we were saying, it is the new television.
Yeah.
And people want, and of course, if they're learning stuff, cool, but the main thing is, I go on now and I'll sit for like an hour and watch a load of Eric Gale's videos. I'm like, fuck.
That guy's crazy, man. He's such a good player.
Oh man, he's when I was at NAMM, actually, it was my first NAMM, and he was literally next to me, just shredding, just going, and I was just like, this is unbelievable. You're watching him, you're like, I just don't get it.
Plus he's lefty.
He's lefty and upside down.
And it's upside down. So you're trying to figure this, like, if it was righty and normal, it'd be hard, but it's like impossible when it's that way. Yeah.
He's a whole different, because like Hendrix, I remember when I was a kid watching Jimi Hendrix, obviously, because he's left-handed. And even like you just said, even that, because it's the whole lefty thing, you're like, what are you doing there? I can kind of see it. I kind of see what you're doing, but when it's flipped like that, because I'm left-handed, but I play guitar what is deemed right-handed.
Yeah. So the E string's on the bottom, low E's on the bottom.
Yeah. But I look at, conventionally I'm playing the right-handed way, but I'm a left-handed person.
Sure.
But I look at it, what I do is left-handed because my strong arm is on the fretboard.
Mm-hmm.
And with Jimi Hendrix and Eric Gales, I believe they write with their right hands.
Oh,
so
really?
Stronger. Yeah.
Well, that's interesting.
So their stronger arm or on the, could they play that way? So their right hand's on that. You know what I mean? I think that makes what I'm saying. Because I remember seeing footage of Jimi Hendrix and he's writing with his right hand.
I didn't know that.
Interesting. Yeah. It's other hunt. Yeah, I remember seeing it. I was like, no way. So, because there's some stuff I do left and some, I broke my left wrist when I was a kid. So I think when I went back to school, I had to kind of write right-handed for a bit. So I think it kind of.
So you could write. Do you write right-handed?
I used, when I was younger, I used to be able to go because it was right at the beginning of the summer holidays when I broke my wrist, and I was like 6, and I was still riding my bike and playing. Yeah. When you're 6, 7. And my birthday's in August as well, and I remember I had a swimming party, and I didn't want it cancelled, so my mum, bless her, wrapped a black sack around my wrist, and I'm there like swimming one arm out.
Very cool.
So obviously the arm didn't heal, so the doctors had to snap it again. So I was in plaster for about 3 months, I think. So when I went back to school, I had to kind of write. So not now, I don't do it, but I used to be able to. It used to be all right, but now it would be terrible. Just like my left-handed writing. Even me, I've got terrible handwriting. So.
That happens, man. What were some things that didn't work on YouTube?
That's a good question.
If anything.
I've been quite fortunate. Nothing's necessarily hasn't. I remember actually very recently what didn't do well as I thought it would. Was I went to NAMM for the first time this year, which I loved, always wanted to go. And I did a few little vlogs of it, and it didn't seem many people were that interested. It hasn't got many views at all.
Interesting.
But I think at the same time, when NAMM is on, like, you're just inundated with NAMM. The whole YouTube thing is just NAMM. So in a way, I'm not surprised. But I put like three NAMM vlogs, videos up, and apart from the Eric Gales one, because that was just Eric Gales standalone, that did quite well. But they didn't really get picked up at all. So it's certainly
interesting. I wonder why, because maybe it's the deviation from what you normally. That's interesting. Yeah.
I've been a little bit perplexed. I thought, it would be quite a popular thing, but it's one of those things, I think. So it's certainly. Hopefully, I can go next year. But I'll bear it in mind. I might just do a little overview, like one video, and that's it, as opposed to thinking, I did 3 days, covering the 3 days, basically. Certainly, I was a bit surprised it didn't do as well as I thought.
Unless it's maybe if you're playing with, maybe doing the things you're normally doing with somebody. I don't know. That's interesting, though.
Yeah, maybe. I just, I was just trying to think of it as, because I was going there the first time, so showing it how it would be if you were just walking around, Still cutting a bit of playing as well, But I'll definitely, if I go next year, I'll definitely think differently from that. It's good to kind of, not necessarily fail, but it's
everything's a test, man. That's how I look at it. As running a marketing company, that's my natural. I don't know if anything's going to work. I look at everything as a test. So you try to run the test as non-committal as you can, without investing tons of money, time, whatever into it, just to see if it works. And then
if it works, exactly, absolutely. So and then you can learn from it. So I'll definitely bear that in mind for next time. So that's probably been my most recent current thing. What didn't work? But it's what it is, isn't it?
Do you have any other side hustles like outside of YouTube? Because you mentioned, I know you have some lessons on your site. What are some other side hustles that you have?
Where do I start?
Oh, that's good, man. That's great.
You know what? It's because I was thinking that because I've been self-employed since I was 20. I'm 34 now. But I've always, even when I was a kid, I've always loved the fact of making your own money. And I remember, when I was at school, I used to go home for lunch, and so I'd come back and I'd go to the sweet shop, and then people would ask me to get some sweets and stuff.
Yeah, right? The sweet shop. I love that. We don't have sweet shops here.
Sweet shops there. I don't know what you would call it.
Candy. No, they don't really have many, and they don't have that anymore here either. Everybody goes. You go to a gas station or Target or Dwayne, pharmacy, and they don't really have sweet shops.
Yeah. We had the news agents,
right? But they're so cool, man. I remember we took our kids when all my kids were there. The sweet shops. It was so cool, man. And
I used to be even better when I was younger. You the school, we would all go to the newsagent, you know, and it would just be packed for the kids and getting little penny sweets, and you know, you get about 50 sweets for 50p. You know, now it probably costs £5 or something like that. You know? It's
no, but it's just cool how you stick your hands in all those different. And you know, it's funny. My wife still eats like she's got certain sweets that she still eats. Like we were in New York and she went into some place. I'm like, what did you get? Like not cat. Show, of course, Cadbury's eggs, but little like Swedish fish cream.
Oh, Cadbury's cream eggs.
No, she always gets those all the time. But this little sort of like a Swedish fish, but it was a certain flavor, licorice all sorts, just a bunch of
licorice all sorts. Yeah.
She still eats like a bunch of English stuff. It's really. She's going over there in May, so she'll probably come back with
like a suitcase full. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's really funny, and she's always afraid. Like she comes in like she always like, oh, I'm afraid they're gonna catch me. I'm like, you got fucking beetroot in there. If they catch you, you know, you don't have like cocaine, you're okay. I mean, you know,
they let you buy.
I mean, just relax, you know, and
well, like I say, because I used to go to these sweet shops, you know, quote unquote, and it was like 50p for like a bag of like sugar cola bottles or something. So I would say to people like, I can get me some sweets. I'd be like, yeah, right, it's £1. So I'll buy it, and I'll keep 50p. So, and then I started getting about 6 or 7 orders, you know, a day from people, you know.
So you were cleaning up.
I was like, I'm quids in here, man, you know. So I remember like renting out videos to people down my road, you know, like I've always been a big film buff, so I'd load of videos. Remember those, you know, not DVDs, videos. And, you know, I used to rent them out to people like, you know, £1 or whatever it was, you know, or $1 for you, you know. So I've always been I just love that kind of romantic idea of not having a boss, and every single money you make is all from me, so to speak, you know, good things or bad things. So when I went self-employed at 20, you know, and now like I said, started teaching guitar, and then slowly but surely, you know, I would do, you know, people saying, oh, can you do this gig, like the corporate kind of thing? And I never even dreamed of doing that kind of stuff. I just wanted to be, you know, original band, you know, basically be Jimmy Page, you know, be in a great band, write music. And I didn't want to, you know, do wedding gigs or anything like that, you know, or corporate stuff. But then you're like, oh, you can get like 250 quid for doing this, or 350 for that. I'm like, what? I'm like, oh shit, I'll do that, you know.
And you got this from your channel? People started approaching you from this?
No, so that was just from like, you know, through meeting other musicians, you know, so like going to like, you know, jam nights and things like that, and you meet people, and then they, you know, oh, we need a guitar player from that kind of thing, and friends. And I've got a few other friends who are kind of session players, and if they can't do a gig, they recommend. That's how like the Dinah Vickers one, what you mentioned at the beginning. No, my mate was a player, so then he could do some gigs. So he's like, Mike, can you cover for me? I was like, yeah, I'll cover for you, you know. So it's all, that's again what we were saying about such a small industry.
Yeah.
Got to be, you know, if you're a dick, it gets around very quick if you're a bit of a dick.
Yeah, totally. As it should, because in this business, man, it's so tough what you guys do. And, you know, you really want to have like a service mentality, not just towards the employer, but towards all your fellow musicians, you know. And I think the support for the most part is very strong when you are like that, at least what I've seen, you know.
Yeah, definitely. It is a hard gig, you know. When I say gig, you know, literally being a musician, self-employed, anything is tricky, you know.
Very much.
And I remember, like, again, when I did used to teach guitar, that was my only income, and it would get to like summer holidays, and I'll be struggling because people are on holiday and schools are out, blah blah. And so I remember thinking, well, you can't just put your eggs in one basket. You need as many different streams of income. Yeah. So then you've always got something coming in. You know, so if it's from the YouTube thing, you've got a little bit coming in there, and then people can buy online videos and Skype lessons, and then, you know, corporate gigs, and then session gigs coming, all these little things. So then that way you're not relying on one source of income all the time, you know. And I think a lot of you know, players don't do that. Now I've got some guys who just do the session thing, which is great, but then they might have a big tour for 6 months or something, but then another 6 months they're twiddling thumbs, and then they got a tax bill come in, and then it's like, oh shit, they got to pay for it, you know. And then so I've always trying to just have as many different streams coming in, but fortunately it's always been from, you know, playing the guitar. I haven't had to get a real job yet. Yet.
Well, I'm sure you, as long as you keep having that, I'm sure you'll be fine. Yeah. Did like were your parents self-employed at all, or?
My dad is. My dad's a patisserie chef. And
is that like bakery? Like, is that a bakery?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, bakery.
Sorry.
Yeah. And when did he go self-employed? Oh God, when I was a kid, like 94. I remember my dad. He worked uptown in Soho, and he would leave for like 2 a.m, and then to do like the morning kind of get everything. He would get home for about 10 o'clock in the morning, something like that, and then he would start doing his own stuff as well for other people. You know, so he was doing 2 jobs at once.
Yeah.
So my early memories of my old man was just, you know, constantly just knackered, just tired all the time. But I remember like we were doing, like, financially he was doing all right. It wasn't loaded, but it was comfortable, you know.
Yeah.
And then I remember he went self-employed, and, you know, my dad's got a heart of gold, but he's not very savvy with money at all, you know. And you know, it just goes all over the place, you know. So I kind of learned what not to do.
That's great.
My dad, I think, you know. But he still does it, you know. He's been self-employed since '94, you know, and he's got a roof on his head and all that kind of stuff, you know. But they're not musical or anything like that. But yeah, well, I learned what not to do.
That's good, which is a great lesson.
Yeah, sometimes that's more important lesson than what to do.
Yeah, because you could figure that out along the way, but the mistakes you don't always figure out if you knew them ahead of time. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah,
man, I'd be 500 pounds if, like, I had a family member that was,
you know what, everyone
up.
Says that to me. Yeah, you know, and I think because I grew up with it, it's just like, oh, it's cakes. You know, it's like, you know, I remember
it's just product.
It's just product. You know, I go and nick a Danish now and then after school and stuff. You know. But it was just, and I used to do, he does like farmers markets as well. So
dude, you guys have that thing there where you go on the weekends. This was so cool. Like the car boots, or not the car boots, but like, but like you do in the smaller towns, you know, it's town center on a Saturday. Man, that is so cool. We don't have that really here.
Do you know? No, that's how he started. He started, I used to do it with him. He used to do a car boot sale on a Sunday morning, sometimes Saturday and Sundays to do. And I should do my paper rounds, and then I go and meet him, and he'll pay me like £5, you know, which is extortionate amount, you know, like £1 an hour if it was, you know. And but yeah, I should do it with him, you know, selling to the public, you know. And again, you know, it's that interacting with the public. And my dad, he hates the public. I was like, well, you're in the public game, Dad. You've got to like it.
Oh, so he's like an introvert.
Oh yeah, he hates it. He hates
really? It. Oh yeah, that's got to be tough. But you know, I have a lot of guys on the show, musicians that are basically introverted, and I always say, how do you? And it's almost like an alter ego. Like they're so comfortable with their guitar that they're able to sort of, you know. And some of them, it's like almost fantasy for the 90 minutes they're on stage. You know, so it's really interesting. But you're obviously pretty extroverted, so it's probably easy for you.
I guess so, a little, yeah. I mean, I still sometimes can be quite withdrawn. I mean, I can be kind of opposite sometimes. I can be, you know, really chatty, and I love chatting to people, but then I can switch, and I can be very, you know, just into myself, and not into myself. That sounds egotistical, but
no, I know you. No, you mean into your own space. Yeah, I get.
Yeah, and I'll be quiet for a bit, and sometimes even with a group of friends, and then people are like, "You all right, Mike?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm fine." And they're like, "You should. Why are you all quiet?" I was like, I've got nothing to say, you know. So I can switch a bit like that. I've always been a bit like that.
Is your girlfriend
just being
like that?
Sorry,
is your girlfriend like that? Is she outgoing or quiet?
Oh, she's quite outgoing. Yeah. But she can be quiet actually as well. Yeah, she not quite the same as me, but you know, her social life is just ridiculous. She does too much, that girl. Far too much. So but that's women for you. They're a strange breed, aren't they? That's a show in itself.
It's funny, man. Every house has different dynamics. Like in my place, you can't get you got to fight for airtime around here. So,
oh really?
Oh yeah. And like one of my kids is more on the quiet side, and I was like, "How come you don't talk?" He goes, "How can I talk? Where am I going to find a word? You guys don't shut up." Basically,
it is funny. Like my brother, he's very quiet.
Really?
Yeah. Like I remember when I was younger, my mum would be like, she doesn't even know if Andy's in the house or not. I was playing Xbox or something. Like he can be and so I think I just made up.
Yeah.
For him, I just like I just like chatting,
Yeah.
And listen, like I say, it's just fun, kind of being social with people, isn't it?
You're also obviously comfortable selling, which is really important. As a guy who's been running, I could tell you right now, you have to be comfortable promoting yourself. And a lot of musicians, unfortunately, I talk to feel that promoting yourself means saying, "Hey, I'm great. Look at me." No, it just means, "Hey, I have this available and it's a good product if you're interested in it." And there's a huge difference, between the two.
Yeah, no, it is very hard. And to be honest, I am sometimes a bit like that. I feel I don't like pushing myself too much, because I feel that exact thing you just said, but then you do have to take a step back and think, well, no, because how else do people know about it unless you tell them, and like we're being advertised all the time, but it's doing it in a way where it's coming across, legit and friendly and stuff like that. And people will either be like, oh, okay, cool, I'll check it out, or I'm all
or they
right.
won't. Or either way, it's cool. Yeah. It's funny.
Yeah, they won't be like, "Oh, fucking hell, he's going on about himself." No one's going to say that,
And and if they do, guess what? They could change the station, man.
They can change it. Yeah. Absolutely.
Someone's always going to say this is how, like, maybe this would help. Look at it like this. When my Ann was a stay-at-home mom, she always supported the back end of the bookkeeping and customer service of all my businesses over the years. But about 5 years ago, she went back to work and she became a realtor. And when she first started, I said, "Listen, you can't make your problems other people's problems." Meaning, if you want to get clients and make money, that's cool, but that's your problem, not their problem. But if you approach this as you have solutions to people's problems and you're service oriented like that, like your problem is you need to buy a house or you need to sell a house, I can provide that service to solve your problem. I said, then if you come off like that, and I think if people come off like that, like, your problem is you want to learn how to play guitar. Your problem is you want to learn how to read music, or your problem is you need to find a guitarist to entertain you. I have a solution for you. If you like the solution, great. Give me a shot. If not, that's totally cool. And I think that approach is really like totally inoffensive to anybody.
Absolutely. No, I agree completely there. It's funny how it's all, again, with the whole social media and stuff, it can sometimes be like it's been a whole thing now, hashtag ads or something people got to put, haven't they? Have you heard about that?
No. You have to put hashtag. You have to put hashtag ad.
Yeah, I think it all started from that Netflix. There's a documentary on Netflix about that fake festival. I think Fire. I think it was called.
Yeah. Right. My wife was watching it.
Yeah. A load of I think all these kind of models were posting like, "This is going to be the best music festival ever," and it was just like, some fucking shitty. It was
nobody showed up or something like that.
No one showed up. Like I think Blink 182 them in a shot, and they didn't. They pulled out. And I think from that has made it kind of, you've got to now put ad in it kind of thing. But what you're saying there is like, if you're comfortable in yourself, if you know you can do your job well, and there's lots of musicians who can, they're very capable in their instrument and their craft. It's getting to that point where it's like, just say it, you know what I mean? Just kind of, there's nothing wrong with saying, "I'm good. This is what I do. If you need me for your job, for your gig, to learn, whatever, this is what I can do," so to speak, and then, like I say, if people don't want to know, they'll just be like, "Oh, it's all right, thanks."
I mean, nothing gets bought unless it gets sold first, for the most part, especially online. You have to promote, and then if they are interested, great. If not, no problem. Yeah.
Absolutely.
What were some, like, maybe lower points or dark periods that you've had to deal with throughout your life, and how'd you get through them? Any, could be music related, business, personal, whatever you feel like discussing.
Yeah, I've had a few where you're like, this is away from YouTube, just trying to, get by in life, regarding finding the gigs. And again, being self-employed can be quite lonely.
Yeah.
Because you've got no one else to kind of interact, and you kind of feel like, okay, fuck, what now? What's the next hustle? What's the next thing I can kind of do, to kind of, want to get this gig? And then you start seeing other people do work. No, again, with the whole social media thing,
Yeah.
I keep talking about social media all the time, but, because we're in a world of a filter now, aren't we? Where, people will post stuff and think, fuck, they're doing that gig or whatever,
Yeah.
why am I not doing that? But then, of course, they're not showing that they're playing the local dog and duck pub or something, to fucking 20 people, if that, 10 people, but could we just see that, so, and I think that's a big thing in the musician world. I think and with the whole kind of anxiety and depression, you're kind of hearing a lot about now, and it's great that's being spoken about, because I do get kind of down a bit. I'm like, oh shit, what's next, or something's I'm not earning enough money this month, or if I'm doing YouTube, or that hasn't done well, what should I do for this? And, and then, you think, shit, it's nearly May. It's like this year's flying by, you're getting older and all that kind of stuff. I've done a lot of like TV gigs before, playing with different artists on X Factor or different kind of shows. But then back on mine, I was like, well, I can't say I'll be doing this when I'm 40, because they'll want some 20-year-old guy, so that kind of goes through your head and all that kind of stuff, But the main thing is that kind of everything's on your shoulder. I like being self-employed, but it's all on your shoulders, and I sometimes do feel a little bit overwhelmed in trying to, I want to do this, I want to do this, and how do I do that? Who do I contact for that? And things like that, But if I do get down, I just to pull myself out about it, it's like, stop fucking whinging, Mike.
Yeah.
And just do it. You know what I mean? Everything happens I'm a strong believer everything happens for a reason as well. And I catch myself getting down. I think, just do what you do best. Be the best you can be a nice person. And, and what's that classic joke of, how do you make a guitar player? How do you make a musician whinge? Give them a gig. How do you make them really whinge? Don't give them a gig. I did a gig the other week, and it was just a little kind of corporate thing, and we were all kind of whinging about it, like, oh, this ain't great, and we were doing like the 2.5 hour drive home, and I was like, why the fuck am I whinging about this? I'm getting paid like 350 quid, which is a nice little earner.
Yeah, absolutely.
For work, and I could be, putting stuff in bloody admin work or some bullshit like that,
or would you like a lid with that? You could be
exactly right. Yeah, I could be back in the supermarket like I was when I was 19,
right.
And I'm just trying to Waitrose. Actually, I was Waitrose, the posh one.
Oh, look at you!
Yeah. The Queen Mum used to shop in Waitrose, mate.
The Queen Mum.
But yeah, so I've tried I'm trying not to complain anymore about anything, and just do the best job. And if I do catch myself being down, I'm just trying to switch myself out of it and think, no, just get on with it. You're doing all right.
Yeah.
You're doing all right. You've got a mortgage now and everything like that. Able to get a house and everything like that from doing what I do.
Right.
It's like, you're doing all right, Mike. But I think it is hard. When you do get down in the dumps about stuff, and you think, oh shit, again, like I hear other friends of mine, they'll be doing. I've got a friend of mine who's playing with a guy called James Archer. He's won X Factor a couple of years ago.
Oh, cool.
It's like, oh man, amazing. So you'll see him playing like a Wembley Arena or something. You're like, oh, I fucking want that, And then I was like, and then I'll be teaching some guy how to play a flipping pentatonic scale, which is great. But I'm like, oh, fuck's sake.
Yeah, you can't. It's tough. You can't look at what other people are doing, man.
You can't at all. And it just doesn't
serve you.
It doesn't at all, And I've definitely tried stopping thinking like that over the last year or two now. It's like, just just keep going on, because when people ask me, where do you see it going? I get asked that question a lot. People come to me, where do you see it going? And I was like, if you asked me when I was 19, I want to be a rock star, I want to be a millionaire, all this kind of stuff. And now I always say, if I can be, earn a comfortable living, doing what I love, playing music, playing the guitar, I'm happy.
Yeah. Good for you.
I think that's what pretty much most kind of serious musicians will say, from, the bottom level to Steve Lukather or something like that. Sure. I mean, like this, I'm earning a living from doing what I love, and that's playing the music, playing the guitar, and that's it. So, to answer your question, when I do get down, I'll just try and think like that now. And since thinking like that, I found myself not feeling like there's a big black cloud over me all the time.
Good, man. Good.
And, just kind of, it'll be all right, Mikey. Come on, boy.
What's funny, as you get older, then I start seeing people in my age bracket, either like a divorce is huge, or like people are getting sick, and I'm like, shit. So that keeps me very like, I got my health, my kids are all healthy, my family's healthy, and I got a great relationship. So I don't even think about the next layer of like anything, because it's like, and it's just because of getting older, and that's what's going on around me, so you always have shit like that to challenge you.
No, absolutely, definitely. And like I say, especially the whole, like you say, getting old. I was speaking to someone yesterday, I was like, God, when I next see it's gonna be May, and that's only halfway through this year, and it's just
quick,
flying by, and it's like, it's scary how quick it goes, I was like, wasn't it Christmas last week? I'm sure they took the tree down.
So it happens.
So I think God, the next one, 40 will be if we know it. For me, and it's scary. It's like, even like, when you think 1990 next year will be 30 years ago. Yeah, that's a little bit daunting for me. I'm like, nah.
Really?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, I'm sure as I get older, you don't.
Yeah, you don't. You're just happy that you're here. No, seriously, you're here and you're healthy, man. And and I go out of my way to take care of my health, but you don't think about that. You're just used to the speed and the velocity because you got kids. My kid's going to be 29 in a few months.
Oh wow! So I look at 1990. Then,
he was born in 1990, right? And so, but I don't look at him, and he's still my little baby. I mean, he can kick my ass literally, but but like, I don't think of him. And this is really cool. He's got to have some medical stuff, nothing serious. And I was like, hey, Nick, do you want me to come to the hospital? He goes, yeah, Dad, I think I'd like that. And I was like, yes, I felt like $1 million. I was like, he still wants his dad. And I was like happy to do. I was really happy. He said, yeah. So it was, I was like, great. That's very cool.
That I imagine is when time goes quick when you have children.
Oh God. I have a 5-year-old granddaughter.
Oh, wow. That's amazing. That's beautiful.
Yeah, right. And she, I'm still not used to being called grandpa. Because grandpa, I'm like, ugh. Yeah.
Who are you talking to?
Yeah. But it's weird. It's just, it's the progression, man,
Yeah. Oh, one day I'll get on the whole I'm not ready for the whole parenting thing yet. I'm still getting used to looking after myself. I do look forward to it.
Well, it's a lot of work, man. I wouldn't, I think people that don't just jump into it are much smarter than people that do, to be honest with you. I mean, I did automatically, and I don't regret it, obviously, but I should have thought more and, been more. I think it's important to take care of yourself first. Yeah. I
mean, I'd always like to have a bit of financial backing behind me, a bit of savings, but I've got, quite a few friends of mine now have children, and I remember even speaking to my dad once, and they all say the same, you're never ready.
You're never ready.
So,
and it's always so much more work than you thought. I mean, it's like fucking infinitely more work than you thought.
And I'm a really bad morning person. So
that's out the window. You will become good whether you like it or not. Yeah.
Whether you like it or not. Yeah, exactly. I'm a terrible morning person. Standard musician, I think, a bit of a night owl, big night owl actually. But in the mornings, I used to have a rule. All my friends knew, like, don't phone me before 10 o'clock.
That's not that bad. 10 o'clock.
10 o'clock's not bad, but But sometimes they push that, and I'll just get fuck off, and I'll just put the phone down. Like 8:30, the phone. Don't even go there. Don't phone me at 8:30. So, but yeah, 10's not bad. 10,
no, it's pretty good.
Yeah,
I was on vacation last week. I slept one day till 10:30. I don't think I've done that in 40 years. And I was like, I felt so now I met a musician friend of mine up in the city. I said, man, I slept till 10:30 today. He goes, dude, I sleep till 10:30 every day.
I'm like, what's wrong with you, man? God.
I'm usually up at 5 but 10:30, I felt like,
You feel good though, yeah? Or do you feel more tired?
No, maybe the greatest day of my life. I was so rested, man. I was so like done. I was like so crispy. I needed it. I was like 10:30 though, man. That's like, it's like being 19. But,
yeah. I remember one New Year's Eve, and I slept until 2:00 in the afternoon.
Yeah,
I can't remember the last time I've done that.
Right, but that's what you do when you're young. My daughter, when she's on the weekend, she sleeps till 3 in. I'm like,
yeah. Well, you're getting old. Like I say for myself, like that's wasting the day.
Yeah,
you're just wasting the day if you sleep that long. So, yeah, nah. I've got better. Yeah, certainly. Oh, sorry, my body declined. Sorry.
Hey, no, all good. What? Let's talk about gear for a few minutes.
Happily.
All right. So let's talk first about practicing. What do you still practice?
I try to. Yeah. I do try to. Not as much as I used to when I was a kid, but I certainly always have a guitar in my hand. But it's different from just playing to actually, learning something new. And I love learning. Be it. I'm a bit of a history geek as well. I love this kind of just learning new things, but with the guitar, often I'll go on YouTube and I'll put a play, or sometimes a random person will come up. And if I hear something I like, I'm like, okay, what was that? And I'll get the guitar and try and work it out, and then make it my own kind of thing.
Yeah.
Or I like kind of read stuff like theory stuff, and like, I like kind of picking up ideas from piano players and their voicings they use, because they have such big.
Yeah.
Eric Johnson obviously does that as well, but they'll be using all these, major 9 or a raised 12 and 1.21 gigawatt here and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And I like kind of picking that idea and think, okay, what's that? And then I'll try and apply that on the guitar. So I've watched a few kind of piano lessons on YouTube, but I'm taking that kind of chord knowledge and I'll apply it to the guitar kind of thing. So that's what I'm really into at the moment, is just kind of building my chord vocabulary. I'm more into chords, and then you can turn that into arpeggios and stuff. But yeah, if I can get a good half hour, at least an hour a day practice, I'm happy.
That's really good.
I'm happy to do that, So yeah, I want to be better today than I was yesterday. That's my kind of outlook on it a little bit.
Did Matt White go to school with you?
Matt White? I don't think so. No, the name doesn't ring a bell. Did he go to East as well?
I thought he did, yeah.
I went, when did I go? 2000, 2001 I went.
I don't know. He's around here, maybe a tiny bit older than you. I thought he went to ACM. Okay, gear-wise, right now, what's your go-to guitar, and what other couple of guitars would round out your top 3? When I say go-to, things you like to pick up, not that you have to pick up for a specific gig.
Yeah. Well, I'm between two. I got a new guitar just for Christmas. I got a Music Man Cutlass, and that has been, I've really, really bonded with that guitar. It even not plugged in, it just rings out so beautiful. A very musical instrument. So I've really, really connected with that. So that's kind of become my new go-to guitar over these last 4 years.
Are you an Ernie Ball artist?
I'm an Ernie, but yes, I'm not a Music Man artist, but I'm certainly Ernie Ball artist. Yeah, I kind of got them mid last year. Kind of, I can't remember now, August time, something like that.
What's the difference between Ernie Ball and Music Man?
Ernie Ball, obviously the strings, all right, kind of accessories, and then Music Man is the guitars, so it's owned by, it's Ernie Ball Music Man.
Yeah, okay.
But so yeah, I'm not like I just have to play Music Man guitars or anything like that now,
Gotcha.
But yeah, I've got a lovely relationship with them and they've been great. But so that Cutlass has certainly become my new number one. My certainly go to. My old Strat Plus, which I've had since I was 14.
That's cool.
That will still be the most cherished thing for me. You know, I pick it up, and it had been this. I needed all soldering, so it was a bit out of action for about 4 months, and it recently just got all soldered up again. Because me and a soldering iron do not. So I've just been putting it off, you know, for ages. And it's so good to play it again, but the frets are so flat. I need to. Well, after 20 years, you know.
Oh my God, it hasn't been refretted.
No, I just had my Telecaster refretted actually, because that was really hard. I was finding it really hard to play, and so the Strat it still plays nice. But when I went back to it after not playing it for a few months, I was like, oh my God, like the frets are just non-existent, you know. But that will still probably be, you know, the most important guitar. That's been everywhere with me, everywhere.
And you're the original owner of that.
Yeah. I saved up my paper round money, or paper route, or route, how you pronounce it. And my auntie bought it for me on hire purchase, and then I paid her back monthly.
Oh, that's cool.
So I think it was. I
need to translate all of this. So hire.
Yeah, let me hire purchase. Do you not get HP over there? Do you not have hire purchase?
It's not called that. It's just called layaway. So hire purchase is layaway, where you buy something and you lay away. They call it layaway, and you just pay it off every month. Yeah.
Yeah, I usually would have said HP and not even bothered saying hire purchase.
Yeah.
Polite and say hire purchase. Oh, okay.
So even auntie, they don't say auntie here. Like my granddaughter calls my daughter Auntie Sam.
Right.
But nobody says auntie here. It's just aunt.
It's like, was it like we say mum and mom?
Yeah, right. It's MUM versus MOM. I'm trying to.
It is funny. We speak the same language, but it's so different. It's crazy, isn't it?
Certain differences. Yeah. I mean, I understand because of my wife, obviously.
From your wife, of course, yeah.
Like some
I don't
guys,
have to listen. Well, I apologize.
No, it's good. I love it. Listen, man, I'm married to an Englishwoman. I love everything about England's been good to me. Everything. So no, you could talk English as long as you. But it's just funny because sometimes I know that nobody's understood. Okay, let me intervene.
No, please do. Well, my mum's sister,
my auntie. No, you can say no. They get auntie, but it's funny. Nobody says like even when my granddaughter calls my daughter Auntie Sam, it's just funny because I didn't grow up with auntie. Yeah,
I suppose it'd be aunt.
Yeah, it's aunt. Yeah. Or if you're from the Northeast like me, it's aunt, like A-N-T, Aunt Sam. You know.
Okay, right. Yeah.
Oh, but I mean, I love auntie. It's very nice to hear that. You know.
Well, it's sweet, I guess, isn't it? But I remember she bought it, and then I kind of paid her back, and I remember it was a Strat Plus.
What is the plus? What is the plus? I want to ask you that.
So at the time, I think the Strat Plus was originally it was the prototype for what later become the Jeff Beck signature guitar.
Yeah.
But it's got the gold lace sensor pickups in there.
Okay.
It's got an LSR roller nut, and it had the conventional bridge saddles. You know, they went away from that vintage kind of one. You know. And I remember, I think at the time, an American standard Strat was about, this is what, 1998, I think this would have been. So American standard Strat then was about £900 or dollars, you know. And then they bought out the Strat Plus Deluxe. I don't know what that was, but it's deluxe. Yeah. And,
that
so
means
they reduced
$200 more.
Exactly, right. And they had reduced this Strat Plus I saw from I think it was originally $1,200 to $699. I thought, well, I can get a Strat Plus for $699.
That's pretty good.
Or I could get a standard one for $800-900. I'll go with the Strat Plus.
Yeah.
And I say all these years, it's still.
You still got the lace sensor pickups in there.
Yeah, it's all completely stock. Yeah.
Are they noiseless?
Yeah.
You know what? I have for Jeff Beck. Not the custom, just the Jeff Beck model, and it has the noiseless pickups. I love that.
Oh guitar. Yeah, you got those Fender noiseless ones. Yeah.
Oh,
I've got another one. Yeah.
I love it. And it's got the nut, the metal nut. I mean, locking tuners. It's just a great guitar, man. Really.
Yeah, exactly what the Strat Plus got, those locking tuners, and it does make a difference. Like that, I used to do, especially when I was my late teens, early 20s, do gigs and just go nuts, and it wouldn't go out. It would slip a little bit, but it holds the tuning very, very well.
Honestly, man, I find most Fenders in general they really do tend to hold tuning pretty well.
Yeah.
You don't have the issues that we have with the Gibsons, unfortunately.
Yeah, they're a little bit hit and miss, aren't they? But yeah, I've always been very at home on a Strat. My first electric guitar, it was a Telecaster copy by a company I've never seen or heard of since. Unfortunately, I sold the guitar. It was by, I think it was called CIMAC, CIMAC. I've never ever seen it before ever again. But it was I remember seeing when I was a kid at the time. That Chuck Berry film, Hail, Hail, Rock and Roll.
Yeah, great movie.
And because I was, obviously this is before the internet, so all I had was, I didn't even get guitar magazines then. It was just from, VH1 and MTV when I would actually play music. I don't know what they do on that now. And so, but I remember watching that, and I saw Keith Richards with this black custom. I was like, that's my guitar. That's what mine looked like. Little did I know, his is a Fender, and mine some bloody made of plywood or something like that. Probably,
probably some Korean or Indonesian or
Chinese it would
model.
have been something like that, But I remember someone told me your neck's bent. I was like, oh, is it? I didn't know any different, Yeah. But I sold that. Actually, I sold it for how much I bought it for. I sold it for £40, and I used that. So yeah, no money lost here. And I sold it and got a Yamaha Pacifica 112, the classic.
Those are good guitars, man. Everybody.
I've still got it.
That's cool.
I've always been very at home on a Strat. The Strat type guitar. That's definitely, my friend, so to speak. So yeah, the Cutlass has certainly become the new favourite, but my old Strat Plus is my girl.
Is it Olympic white? Is it the white?
No, Sunburst.
Okay.
Sunburst, rosewood fingerboard. It's a great guitar. Love it.
What would be number 3?
I would probably say my Gibson 345. I would say.
So the 345 is different. Is that the Veritone, or is that?
It's got the Veritone on it. Yeah. I mean, I've wanted a 335. Since I was 12, 13 years old. My old guitar teacher had one, and I just love the look of a 3. They're just, to me, they're like an adult guitar. When you play, it's like, my balls have dropped. You know what I mean? There you go. Yes.
Yeah, I love this guitar.
They're great, man.
It's just beautiful. And I'm not a big guy. My hands are average size. And sorry, I'm talking away from the mic. And this is like a slim neck. It's just so perfect.
So perfect. Beautiful, beautiful guitar. I love them. But the kind of custom shops are quite expensive.
Oh God, you're crazy.
Yeah, and it was, when was it? 2016, and I've moved since, but there was this guitar shop in Epsom where I lived at the time, like a big, massive guitar shop, and it was like a 7-minute walk from me.
Where's Epsom? Is that?
Epsom is just outside of. It's probably about a half an hour train journey from Waterloo, London Waterloo.
No. Is that like the centre of London, or like that?
Waterloo is like the big train station. We've got a few big train stations. So it was, I'd say it's probably like a 35-minute train journey or 40-minute train journey to, say, like Leicester Square or Trafalgar. Yeah, so that kind of area. It's like West End, central London. Hopefully that makes a little bit of sense. So is that still considered London though? It's just outside of London. Okay. It's just outside of London, yeah. So it's not far from it, But when you say to people, I live in Surrey, they automatically think you're really posh. Yeah, and it is like a posh area. You've got like places like Chelsea football clubs very near it, and so you do have a lot of yards, all that. But then, like you say, speak to someone like me, it's like, I ain't posh. But yeah, so this guitar, this big shopping, this big guitar shop, like literally down the road, and they had like a Gibson Roadshow day, and I thought, I'll just pop down, and wasn't not in my mind at all to buy a guitar whatsoever, and kind of popped in there, and I got chatting to the guys in there and stuff, and I said, I just happened after chatting for about 10 minutes, and I said, oh yeah, my next guitar I wanted to like a 335 or something like that, like I've always wanted one for like 20 years and that. I went, oh, try one now. I went, no, I don't like playing guitars in a guitar shop because it's dangerous. And then he kind of handed me one, and he went, oh, God's sake, just try it. And I was like, all right. So he handed me one. I was like, oh, it was all right. I was playing it unplugged. I just played a couple of chords on it. I was like, oh, it's all right. And then the guy went, he kind of, let me be kind of thing. And I gave it to this other guy. I said, it was quite high up on the wall. And I said, oh, the neck's like that. It was like a really skinny neck, like a little bit of a chunk. And he said, oh, try this one. And then he gave me, I was like, oh, hello. That's a bit more like it. Sat down, I was like, oh shit, that's all right, isn't it? And he said, oh, do you want to plug it in? I went, yeah, go on. And he took me like a little private room, little sound. So, 2 hours later, I was in there, and it literally went from, this is a nice guitar, to, I think I want this guitar, to, this is my guitar, And I just kept seeing this $3,000 price tag though, like just dangling at me. But
that was new?
It was brand new, yeah.
That's pretty reasonable.
It was 3,249 or something like that. I think it was.
For how many years ago was that?
2016, January 2016.
Well, that's a pretty reasonable price for a brand new.
Maybe, yeah, probably a bit more than that now. Yeah, I mean, it's still the most expensive guitar I've ever bought.
Yeah.
But I remember I left the shop. This is when you've got a good woman, actually, because I left the shop, and I think Laura, my girlfriend, just happened to phone me up, and I phoned her. And I was like, I just play this guitar. Oh my God, it's amazing. And she's like, the thing we do when you find that really good one,
Sure.
And she went, oh, why don't you get it? I went, oh no, I can't. Like the money, I've got savings, but it's for, getting a house, stuff like that. She's like, oh, no, just get it. You can pay yourself back. I went,
yeah.
Hang a minute, I'm going to be trying to persuade you here, not.
Yeah. It's when you have a good woman, that's.
Yeah, man, And I've said to her, I remember thinking, I'll sleep on it. And she was out that night. And I remember I filmed it on my phone, and I was showing some pupils, and I think I put it on Instagram at the time. I remember driving home, and I think I phoned my mum up. I was like, Mum!
Phone my mom.
You got to. I remember talking to her about it, and then I slept on it. I thought, if I wake up with that kind of excitement,
that's good.
And I woke up the next morning, I was like, fuck it, I'm getting it.
I gotta get it. Good for you, man.
And I did a keep of it that night, though. I did.
Oh, that's great.
By earning your keep, you're going to earn your money back, And so yeah, that is definitely my number 3. So yeah, the Strat, the Cutlass, and the 345. Because every time I play it, I'm like, with the 345, because it just happened they gave me a 345. It wasn't, I want a 345, because it's the same, apart from it's got the gold hardware and the different inlays.
But it's got the baritone, right?
And it's got the baritone.
Okay, do you use that? Because I've heard mixed things on that. Some people say, look, I use it, but other people say, man, it's kind of a pain in the ass. I just use it as it was a 335, and that's it.
I pretty much use it as a 335, yeah. I mean, occasionally it's I've in a studio a couple of times. I've kind of tweaked it for a couple of different. You get some cool out of phase sounds, but only really the first 3 notches are kind of usable.
That's what people say. It's like splitting hairs between, like, there's really, can you hear it? Can you not hear it? Yeah.
It sounds like an old AM radio, like on the last one. It's like, really, it's unusable, personally, But some of the first 3 kind of notches are pretty cool. Like I know BB King used a baritone. I think he had it on 2 or 3. I think
Freddie King was the big guy.
Freddie King, yeah. I think BB did as well. I think BB. I may be wrong.
No, you might be. I'm not as Freddie's the guy. No, I don't know BB as much. I know,
but yeah, Freddie definitely used. I think was a baritone on the 355 as well. I can't remember.
One of them was stereo. One of them was not stereo.
That's right. Yeah.
So I don't know which is which, but I think that's the difference between the 330, the 45. And the 50.
I pretty much use mine as a 335 or 330. It's weird again with the British thing. We say 335.
Yeah, we say 335.
You guys say It's so.
Well, even your pricing, like you said, it was $699. We wouldn't say that. Yeah. It's but it's like it's there's no problem communicating with it,
Yeah, no, we all get it, don't we? Yeah, absolutely.
But it's just little funny things.
Little things we have, yes. It's interesting, yeah.
And it's funny, my wife will spell a word wrong now, and she's like, oh, they spell it And I'm like, hey, you need to correct this. She goes, oh, they spell it different in England. I'm like, you've been here like fucking 30 years, man.
She's been there that long, has she? Right.
We've been together 26.
I suppose if you've been married that long, yeah.
Yeah,
course,
and so I'm like, that excuse expired like 28 years ago.
It's still in there though. She can still pull it out. You know, so being an English lady, she's allowed to.
So, Desert Island Discs, man. What are your top 3 or 4 Desert Island Discs?
Oh,
no particular order, and just for now, like you could change them tomorrow.
Yeah, well, I'm a big Beatles fan. I really, really love it. So I'm going to say a box set or something. You know,
that's cool.
I want to be cheap. Though I do really like Abbey Road. The technically wasn't the last album, but it was the last album they recorded. I do really like that album.
I think the last album was Hey Jude, right?
Hey Jude single. So the last album what was released, I think, was Let It Be. But it was done backwards. So
yeah, it was. Yeah.
Let It Be was like a bad time. They kind of hated each other, and then they did Abbey Road, I think in 69, 70, I think.
That's a great album.
But so I do really like the Abbey Road album. I like all their albums, but I do really like. But I'm going to be selfish and say
box set, man. Go with it.
A box set of the Beatles. I might be selfish and say box set and everything. I'm going to say right now.
You can. You totally can.
Oh God. I do know one out, and I always forget the name of it. The Sting album,
Dream of the Blue Turtles.
Oh God, no! It's got seven something. The Solaris. Oh my God! Hang a minute, I've got to look. This is I loved, and I listen to it all the time. And you know, when you're in the car, you don't even don't look at the album. You just put that album on, so to speak.
Yeah.
I want to say like the Solaris something, but it's got Field of Gold on it. Not Field of Gold. What's it called? Field of God. I'm having a complete brain fart here. But let's say a Sting box set. I can't think of the top of my head the name of the album.
There you go.
But I'm a big Sting fan as well. Really, really like Sting.
I've interviewed a lot of his guitar players, actually.
Yeah, I think there's a common thread there, isn't there? It's just the musicality of it, because I've always been very much a song person. You know, like I appreciate instrumental. You know, like Steve Vai and Satriani. You know, they're amazing. You know, but like I've seen Jeff Beck live a couple of times. Again, adore Jeff Beck. He's amazing.
Incredible. Yeah. Man, do you know he's playing with Rod Stewart in LA?
I've heard about this.
I saw that yesterday. Yeah. That's pretty cool.
Really cool. That's been one that happened for a long time, I think, you know, but it's, you know, the egos colliding, isn't it? So, but, you know, so I would love to see that, because it's a singer and then you've got the guitar spot, you know, so it's still a song. When it's just guitar, I get a little bit like, oh, okay.
You know, it's funny. I find most guitar players like that. They want a good song. They want a good melody.
It's all about a good melody, man. Yeah, definitely. You know, it's, I mean, of course, if you're into shred and that kind of thing, you know, but yeah, you know, so with the Beatles, again, I love the Beatles, you know, so, and it's great songs, you know, and then you look at the riffs and it's like, oh yeah, like, you know, Taxman or something like that, you know, even Day Tripper, wicked little riff, you know. And then with Sting, like, the guy is just a musical genius, you know. He's like a jazz guy, isn't he, really? You know, he covers so many different styles. So it's really annoying me, the name of this album, and I can't think of the thing. So I'm going to say a box set for the sake of it. And then you say 3, yeah? Actually, talking of kind of guitar gymnastics, I'm a big Richie Kotzen fan.
Oh, yeah. He's much bigger over there than he is here, I think, actually.
I know what I think he is, yeah.
I don't know why.
Yeah, because I think that guy, you know, he's kind of that Prince, Lenny Kravitz thing, you know, he's got a great voice and, you know, he writes some really cool tunes, and then he's just a ridiculous guitar player as well, you know. There's an album of his called Into the Black, which is a lot more kind of song orientated. It's got some cool guitar stuff, but it's very, you know, some great tunes on there. And I remember listening to that so much, you know, probably scarily about 6-7 years ago now, wherever it came out. But yeah, so I've got to have a Richie Kotzen in there. Like, there's one, Return of the Motherheads Family Reunion. That's a really cool one. And 24 Hours as well. That's a great album of his.
I'm going to check these out because I need to start.
Check them out. Yeah, Richie Kotzen is, he should get more credit than what he kind of should.
Yeah.
I think now he's slowly, because he had was it the Winery Dogs with Mike Portnoy and Billy Sheen. So I think that kind of got him a bit more on the map,
radar.
So on people's radar. But man, his voice is, you don't get many kind of guitar virtuosos who are also just incredible singers as well. You know, it's like, and he's a good looking guy as well. It's like, you bastard. He's one of those. You know?
I did want to ask you one question about amps. Like, what is your primary amp you're playing through? What do you have a few?
I've got a few, but yeah, I do have kind of one which is my kind of go-to, and that's it's a Hampstead Artist 20. I don't know if you heard of that.
You know how I heard of them? I just spoke to them last week about.
Oh, no way!
Yeah, Tim Steer, I think was the guy.
Yeah, Tim, he's a good man. Yeah,
it's so funny. Yeah, because I spoke to him and he said, you know, he wants me to stay in touch. He wants me to get back with him in a couple of. Put a good word in for me when you talk to him.
No, what I'll tell him. I'll drop him a message. No, he's a lovely guy. He's really nice. They're all Tim and James, Hampstead, and then his dad Peter. It's like very family run. You know, like Peter Hampstead he reminds you of like your favourite like granddad or something. You know, he's got a long white lab coat, and you know he's always smiling. They're just lovely people. That's cool, know, man. And you know, when you do get to, you know, I generally like their amps because I approach them, you know, to kind of get involved with them. And this again was 2016. I started getting involved with them, and it's just because before that I was using a Cornford MK50. Ever heard of Cornford amps?
No, where are they?
Actually, Richie Kotzen was using them, and Guthrie Govan. I think Satriani had a Cornford for a while. I'm not sure, but
CORNFORD.
Yeah, so Corn, so CORN, and then FORD.
Interesting. Never heard of them.
And then the guy, so it was two guys who did Cornford. You had Paul Cornford, and then there was a guy called Martin Kidd. And Martin Kidd has now set up Victory amps.
Yes. Okay, I know them. I've heard Martin Kidd's name, so I knew.
Yeah, he's a
Victory is pretty big now because I've seen them at Nashville NAMM even.
Oh wow! Okay, yeah.
So I think they're
they're doing well. You know, I play some of their stuff, and it's nice, very very nice. You know, so I used the Cornford for a long time. It's MK50, which the MK is from Martin Kidd.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, you know, it's like that. So Paul got obviously his name on the front, and then Martin got, the second.
Got the amp title.
Amp title, yeah. But it was very plexi-like, you know.
That's right.
And it had a beautiful has a beautiful overdrive channel on it. And I would never use any overdrive pedals. I would just use that.
Yeah.
And I would have a tuner and a wah-wah. That's all I used for so long, you know, for original stuff, you know. And I would clean it up on the guitar, and you know, I used that. I still love that kind of thinking of just turning up with a good amp.
I almost never use any pedals because I have a nice dirt channel. But and you clean it up with the volume and the tone. It's easy to manage.
Absolutely. You know, and I sometimes miss those days. Sometimes, you know, because then, you know, sometimes. You know, if I do get hired on the session thing or studio, you kind of want a good, clean sound, and then you add, you know, those kind of. I like an amp like on the turn, as they say. You know, a little bit. I don't like it super sterile clean. I like a little bit of oomph there, you know, and then clean up a little bit more on the guitar. But so with the Hampstead, is I suppose the closest you could kind of describe it is like Vox AC30 kind of territory. Kind of down that neck of the woods, you know, but it's not trying to, you know, amount of amps sort of coming out now. What was, you know, trying to sound like a Fender or trying to sound like a Marshall.
Everything's trying to. It's either Fender or Marshall. They're trying to. Sound almost
you know,
everyone.
and I give Hampstead their credit that they're not. They're just trying to sound like them, which I think, and you can feel it. It's, you know, it's just a really beautiful, warm amp tone, you know, and it makes the guitar speak, so to speak. It's not if you play like a Mesa Boogie, you're going to get the Mesa Boogie sound, you know, if you like it or not, kind of thing, you know. And I find if I put a Strat through the Hampstead, I'm getting that kind of cool Strat sound. If I put a Les Paul through, you know, it kind of it communicates well with it.
What model number do you have again?
I've got the Artist 20 RT, reverb and tremolo. I think they've got a new, I don't know if they discontinued that or not now, because they've got a new 60 watt, which when I was last there, I had to have the valves changed. I completely blew it. They had never seen valves like melted before, and I was quite proud of that. I was like, oh, thanks. But I was trying out some of the kind of the 60 watt models they got, but you can take it down.
60 watts is, they have like an attenuator or something?
You can take it down from 60 to 20. I think to 4 or 7 watts you can get it down to.
Dude,
but
I have that Dr. Z I'm selling there.
Oh yeah,
it's 38 watts, and I have no need for it. I mean, it's just like, massive.
Yeah, but it is amazing when you hear it's the headroom. That's where the watt comes in, and it is amazing when you do hear a 60 watt next to a 20 watt, technically on the same volume, but there is a tonal difference. And when you do A, B, and we're like, oh shit, there is. You can really. So
the 60 watt sounds better.
It did actually sound better. I mean, I love my 20.
Yeah.
But the 60 actually does sound better. Yeah. But I mean, I can't afford to. Get that ramp yet. But it's definitely on my radar to get. It's a really So I got a lot of love for Hampstead guys, and they got overdrive. They do an overdrive pedal as well, which you don't have to use with the amp. But it can either be a clean boost, or you can have like Tube Screamer-esque stuff to like a fuzz face. You get all these different clipping modes. I remember seeing it when it was just like on a bit of wood, and it had like some kind of like the early development of it. And then I saw it when it was in like some kind of metal chassis case kind of thing. And Tim was showing me all these switches, and at first I thought, the fuck is that? Like I'm a very simple man, so when it's got all switches I get very confused. But after a while you're like, oh, okay, I completely get it, So it turned into like a Hampstead advertisement here. But no, like I do generally, they're great. I love their stuff, So
I literally spoke with them yesterday. That's
amazing, man. Yeah. That's amazing. Yeah. So again, meant to be kind of thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, but no, if they're lovely people, and Tim's he's a good player as well. He's a really good player.
All right, tough question. What do you like most about yourself?
Oh God,
it's a tough question. Man. Tough question.
Oh shit.
It's the first time you haven't talked. First time you've stopped breathing, talking. We're in deep reflection here.
There is. What do I like about myself?
No, what do you like most about yourself?
Like most about myself. I'm a bit. Oh God. I suppose. It's going to sound really cheesy now. I suppose
like don't say your hair. I mean, you got great hair. Don't get me wrong, but
damn it, I was going to say that. No, I probably would say. I like to say I'm quite a good friend. I'll probably say that.
Like loyal.
Yeah, and I like to think if people need me, I'm always there for them, like a good shoulder to cry on and stuff like that,
That's really cool, man.
I suppose I'd probably say that. Hopefully I'm a nice person. But that is hard. Yeah, I could list things which I don't like about myself, but yeah, I'd probably say that. Hopefully I'm a nice pal, they're for my mates kind of thing,
How about the flip side? What's one thing you'd want to change?
What I would like to change?
Yeah, just one.
I'll probably say actually what we were talking about earlier, where you get a bit down in yourself, where you feel like that black cloud. I wish, and like I say, I'm learning to kind of not be like that. But that'll probably be the big thing to change, where I don't just kind of get down and don't want to talk to anyone kind of thing, for a bit, for like a day.
Sure, man.
So yeah, I'm certainly learning to deal with that. But yeah, that would be the big thing I'd probably change. Yeah.
Are you a rule breaker by nature or a rule follower?
it's a toughie. I'll probably say I'm in the between. 'Cause I do sometimes like, oh yeah, it's good to follow, but I do like kind of taking a bit of a right turn now and then just to see where it goes. Because you never. So I don't know if that's quite answering the question or if that's being cheeky saying.
No. It's however you feel is that right answer. There's no right answer.
Sometimes I do like, thinking, oh no, you can't. That's a bit naughty to do that. But then there is a bit of rebellion in me where it's like, oh fuck it, man. Let's give this right turn a go. Let's see what happens.
Yeah.
And sometimes it can be good to do that. To kind of to do a right turn or whatever, and it's going down a road which isn't necessarily less traveled, so to speak. So occasionally I like to break the rules and be a bit naughty.
Yeah, that's about as much as I'll get out of a Brit.
Yeah, probably.
You guys are pretty compliant overall. It's real funny because sometimes I'll ask a question to someone in the UK, right? And and I could tell they're never going to say it. It's got to be like just very diplomatic and.
That is probably the British in me coming out there. Yeah.
Certainly. And I'm like from the Bronx. I'm like, fucking just say it, man.
Just say, I know. Well, I remember when we first spoke, like the one thing, a pal of mine, Mike, he's on YouTube, Guitar Gate. I'll give him a little shout out. And I forget where he's. I think he's Maryland. Is that Maryland? Maryland,
yeah.
Yeah. I think he's based there. But when I was with Nam with him, and I said to him, I admire, and I think it's more of an American thing. I admired the kind of almost the brashness, like, oh fuck it, let's go in that room. You know what I mean? Like where I find myself, and I think again it's a British thing. We're a bit more reserved than me.
Oh, totally.
Don't want to interrupt them, kind of thing. And then I find Americans and some of the American friends I have. They're like, oh, fuck it, man. Let's go in, And I love that. And I wish I try and get that. I that so much, that bashfulness. And it's like, don't give a monkeys what will happen. You know what I mean? And just do it, And that's when you do notice that kind of British-American divide where we're a lot more reserved and we hold back and we're far too polite.
Do you want to hear a funny story, man? I think
always
I told this once before. The first time I went to my wife's house. It was back in England, 93. And this was like her mom. I think her sister, maybe the sister's ex-husband, like some family members, and none of them fucking talked. So we're sitting, talk about, we're sitting around the table and. Like I'm trying to get some conversation going, and I'm like, man, and everybody's staring at me like I'm the new puppy or something, right? So, my wife's mom was making like salmon salad or something, just like a salad with a can of salmon on it or something. And she puts the bowl down, and she puts it down in front of me, and so I start eating. And my wife's and everybody's like really like looking at me weird. Like, I'm like, fuck, I got to say something like, hey, and I'm like, what am I doing wrong here? She said, that's everybody's salad.
And you're doing the whole thing. You did throw the whole bowl on your plate, did you?
No, I just thought the bowl was what I'd be eating out of. Oh. And so I just took my fork and I started eating this. And then I'm getting like real creepy vibes. And we're like, it went from uncomfortable to creepy uncomfortable. So but apparently it was everyone's food and that I was eating. But it wasn't like, because our portions here are bigger. I don't know. It was just. Yeah, you
do have a bit bigger portions. Yeah, that is true.
Yeah, but she put the bowl right in front of me. So I thought it was mine. Like normally you put it in the center. So anyway, but that's
but did it break the ice though? Did it get everyone talking? And
no, they were pretty stoked. They were stoked. My wife's her mom talks, but the rest of the family is like really quiet. Still, 26 years later. I mean, they're just they're very British like that, And I'm like, blah, 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 and I'm trying to get something going because I like other people from other countries because I can learn something different, that I didn't have or I didn't, they have different mindsets. So I'm trying to fucking chisel information out of these people, and it was just going nowhere. Anyway, that's my British versus American story.
That's funny, man. And I can envision that already, how that can happen. You know?
Yeah, and I think I still get shit from it, actually.
Probably, yeah.
Do you any non-musical superpowers?
Oh. I suppose I can make people laugh quite well. Is that class as a power?
Yeah, good sense of humor.
I've always been like, even when I was a kid, like I was always be like the kind of class joker, you know.
How'd you do in school?
Oh, not great. Yeah, I wasn't. Well, I mean, I got accepted into the ACM in my last year of school. So it's like year 11 for us. I don't know what that is for you.
12.
So when I was like, so the summer holidays, between the kind of second to last year I got accepted into the college. So when I went back for my last year at secondary school, at high school, everyone's worried about the GCSEs. That's the big exams over here.
Okay.
And and they want to get well at that so they can get into the college they want to go to. But I remember starting that, and I was like, well, I'm already in my college, so
yeah.
I'm just going to cruise. I've got no need to be here.
Sure.
I was like, I want to be a guitar player, and I still say to some people now, I was like, I haven't touched a Bunsen burner.
A Bunsen burner. I mean? That's pretty funny. I haven't heard of that.
So like when you're doing all science stuff, and like what's that big table with like PI for all the different letters for all the different chemicals and things like that, and zinc and all this stuff. I'm like, I don't need this shit. I'm playing guitar for a living.
Good for you.
So on the turn of that, I did well in drama. That was actually I think I got a B in drama. And a C actually, ironically, in music. I didn't do
That's
as
pretty
well
funny.
That. Because when I was a kid, I wanted to be acting. That was the thing I wanted to do, like get into acting and stuff. But then the guitar came along and kind of took over. So I didn't. But the irony is that I love learning now. I think it's not.
Yeah, you seem really clever. I mean, I'm surprised you didn't do good at school.
Oh, thank you. No, I love, I often will find myself, like, my girlfriend will be watching TV, so I'll be on the laptop just reading stuff.
Sure, yeah.
Just sometimes trivial things, But I think when you're a kid, you're being forced to go to school, aren't you? It's the worst bloody thing in the world to do. And when you become an adult in this world, it's great kind of picking things up, But yeah, at school, I didn't do great. Yeah, I just played guitar all the time.
Dude, that's great. Good for you that you found something early and you got on it. That's wonderful.
I guess. Yeah.
Do you have any interests or hobbies outside of music? Besides Bunsen burners.
Well, yeah, my collection of guitars and my collection of Bunsen burners.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
I do. Not so much. I want to get back into actually. I was really into cycling, like mountain biking.
Yeah.
I used to be really into that when I was younger, like teenage years and kind of early 20s. And actually, I want to get back more into it. I was actually talking to the lady the other day about it. So yeah, I was always really into bikes, and I used to go to bike shops and just a bit like with guitars. When you go to the guitar shop, you stare at guitars. I was like that with mountain bikes. I'd just be going and just look at them and stare, and it's like, it's got this, and I'd look at the suspension, and I used to love it, really into that, and I want to get back into it again. I do like, obviously, being in here, we got loads of woods and nature over here and stuff like that, so it's great.
And it's never hot like it is here. I mean, in Florida anyway. Oh,
Florida, forget about
gross,
it. It's nuts over there. But it still pisses down rain over there. So much.
Yes, it does. It's a weird, the patterns have changed. It used to rain like every afternoon you'd have a monsoon. We had a summer like that last year, but it was the first one in a while. Now it's kind of dry at times. So, but it's very humid, but it's dry rain wise. I don't know why.
Yeah. Well, I went to Miami in when did I go? 2017. Yeah. A year and a half ago. I had to go, unfortunately, for a funeral, but it's my first time going there, And, you think Florida, Sunshine State, you hear, and got there, and it was pissing down rain, but like it felt like Forrest Gump, like you know, rain came sideways. It was like massive chunks of rain, you know, coming down like balls, and I was like, what? I thought this is Miami. It's going to be sun, you know. I was get my tan going, you know.
South Florida is about 15 degrees in the wintertime, warmer than on the West Coast where I am, and it's about 5 to 10 degrees warmer in the summertime, and it's more humid there even. So I don't know when you were there. What time of the year?
It's August.
Oh, it's brutal. It's fucking brutal.
Yeah,
it's brutal here too, but it's really bad there.
Yeah, it could be. Went to Miami. Now we stayed in Fort
Lauderdale. Yeah,
we stayed there, and then we kind of
drove south.
Back and forth. Yeah. But I remember getting excited because I saw the building was being kind of half knocked down. I think where the shower scene in Scarface. And I got so excited. I was like, "Oh my god!" I was like, "That's where he shot the guy," you know. I was so excited to see that. It was unbelievable. So that was a big tick for going to Miami.
There you go.
So I completely gone away from your question. I apologize.
No, it's hobbies or interests.
So hobbies, getting back in mountain biking definitely, and I like kind of going at like walks and stuff like that. It sounds a bit, you know, stuffy, but yeah. Other than that, like guitars and music and guitars are very much my life. You know, it's I feel even more kind of excited by them than when I did when I was 12 years old. You know what I mean? Like I just, you know, I can't love playing it, and I'm more comfortable having a guitar in my hand than not having a guitar in my hand. You know?
Yeah, but that shows on your videos. You know, you're always very genuine, and it feels like that's how it feels on your videos. So that's great. So you're doing the right things, man.
Oh, I appreciate it, man. Thank you. That's lovely to hear.
Last question. Toughest decision you ever had to make, or most difficult thing you've had to do?
Oh God. Now this I might have to think about.
That's okay.
Toughest decision. I don't know. Fucking hell. See, now I'm being silent now. Oh no, shit. You know what? It probably. I was in a band when I was 17. I joined this band, and we were doing well. This is again before before MySpace.
Yeah.
Again, you know. And we were doing really, really well, and we got to the point we were getting like coaches to gigs, you know, and you know, we built up a great fan base and everything like that, and then we started getting buzzed with record labels, and I remember we had an A&R from Sony they were going to come and see one of our next 3 shows.
That's great.
We got told, and I remember the singer, who's still one of my dearest friends. I adore him to bits, you know. But he was enjoying the rock and roll lifestyle a little bit too much, and kind of shall we say, and forgetting about the music, you know. And I remember when we found out, you know, this lady was coming to see us. He got scared. He got so scared. And he's like, and all of a sudden he had a bad throat. I can't do the gig. I've got a bad throat. You have to come to the next one. It's like, well, no, you don't say come to the next one. It's like some little indie label or something, you know. This is, you know, it's Sony. It's a big record label, you know. And we were doing, I think we're doing a night for a radio, XFM. It was called a radio station, a London radio station at the time, up in London and that. And I remember he reluctantly kind of did it, but he was kind of coughing and spluttering on stage and that. And I think she basically said, "Love the band, come back when you got
a new singer."
Yeah, and Paul, you know, he eventually he decided to leave in the end, you know, and we got another one, another guy in, but it wasn't the same. But I was clinging on because I put so much time and effort and love and, you know, the whole blood, sweat and tears into this band, you know. Cause I remember, you know, that's all I wanted to do, you know. And so the hardest thing was being able to like say, this is over. This is, you know, and I was like, what, 19, 20 at that point. And that's when I kind of slowly realized I was going on my own. You know, I'd been in a load of other bands since then, and I'd never really found that same, you know, the gang mentality that we're friends, we're in it together. All the other bands I've been in, like original bands since then, it's like you show up for a rehearsal or a gig and then we go off. There was no hanging out, anything like that, you know. And I still really, actually, I spoke to Paul literally last week. We hadn't spoke for a bit, you know, about a couple of months or something, and we were talking about this, you know, and that kind of realization that you got knowing when to let go of that, you know.
Well, and you just said too, your number one of your strong suits is the loyalty, good mate. So that's a difficult thing for somebody that, you know, it's difficult in general, but it's when that's your thing. That's, you know, that's
thinking
good.
about
It's
it now.
tough.
Yeah, absolutely.
Real
It was, you know, and then that's when I kind of started realizing, okay, I'll just do it on my own. You know, that kind of brings it all back circle again, you know, to where I'm at now, you know, like, all these other bands haven't really worked, you know, and to make a band, you need to be good friends, you know. I think, you know, you've got to have that camaraderie and all get on well, and I've never had that since then with the Biff Tech boys, you know. That was the name of the band, Biff Tech, and
Biff Tech,
yeah, which is steak in French. I don't know why they could. It wasn't named over that Le Biff Tech. But I think it was someone's hair or something. It was like I wasn't in the band when they formed. But yeah, so that kind of knowing when to let go and think, okay, this is the new page or chapter, whatever.
Yeah.
And but it's hard. It's really hard to kind of, you know, move on to the next thing, you know.
Yeah.
At any age, if you're, you know, and that's when I decided to kind of start doing kind of a solo thing really over the last kind of couple of years, was because I just like, you know, I haven't really found that connection.
Sure.
Okay, so this is the cards was being dealt. This is what I'm going to do, you know, and soldier on. But yeah, so that was quite a hard thing, you know, like where you put so. I remember the night before the gig when this lady from Sony was coming, I was down the pub with my mate, and I was saying, this time tomorrow I want to be signed. I was so confident it was going to happen, you know, and I knew it could have happened. It's a woulda, coulda, shoulda thing,
sure.
You know, like we were, the amount of people we used to, there was such a buzz around us, you know, at the time, you know, and you know, packing out places, you know, you could pack out a gig now as an unsigned kind of artist, you know, well, you probably could, but it's a different world now with social media. But this was before, you know, the old-fashioned way. I remember going around flying up bus stops, you know, the old grassroots thing, you know, bands did, you know. So we put so much work into it, and it was starting to pay off. And then for it to happen, it's like, you know. Because I remember thinking, I want a record deal before I was 21, and I was 20 going on 21 at the time, and it was a big kick in the, you know, in the, you know, what's it?
Hey, well, good for you that you turned lemons into lemonade.
Yeah.
You know, really, honestly, because you didn't like say, oh, fuck it, I'm devastated, let me go become a plumber, or not that there's anything wrong with being a plumber, but you know, you did, you know, you figured out another way to do this, and I'm sure you're still open if a band thing comes along, you know, and it works. 100%.
Great. Yeah.
You know? But I give you credit.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you. Yeah, you know, that was, thinking about it, and I haven't really thought of it deep like that, but yeah, that was probably the big.
Yeah. Well, plus the way you know, your reaction to it was like super healthy and mature. It's like, you didn't say, well, I'm going to blame this on anybody. You said, hey, I need to take on my shoulders my success. And that's a very, you know, admirable reaction to something like that, as opposed to, oh, fuck, I can't rely on people and blah. You know, you took a positive reaction to it, you know, so somebody else may not have taken that same thing. So good for you, man.
Oh, that's very sweet of you. Thank you.
Very cool, man. Hey, let me tell people where to find you online, and I really appreciate all your time today, man. Thanks, Andrew.
No, it's been great.
With you,
thanks for having me, man.
Yeah, man. I'll have to tell you some more salmon stories in a pub in UK. I think I'm going to try to come over there later this year, because I think Ant's going maybe again in October. I'm going to try to get over there.
Oh, let me know, man. That'd be great.
I will, because I know a bunch of guys. Yeah, I know so many guys there now. All right, so check out Mike online. First of all, his YouTube channel, which is very cool. and Facebook, same channel, but sign up on his YouTube channel. It's Official Mike Bradley, Bradley. Facebook, again, Official Mike Bradley. His website is MikeBradleyMusic.com. He's got his own original music on there. He's got a couple of EPs, right?
Yeah, 2 EPs. Yeah,
two EPs, and you have mini guitar lessons on there. What kind of guitar lessons and stuff is on there? For
I've got stuff which is a bit more in depth as opposed to what you can get on YouTube. Because YouTube, again, we're talking about the whole entertainment thing. You've got to think of it, keep buzzing. So this is more of an in-depth lesson. I've got stuff like on the cage system.
Great.
That's actually the biggest selling one I've sold on. It's an important thing to kind of once you get that down. The neck is your best friend,
That's exactly where I'm at now. I'm painfully going through that because I know that the neck's not gonna open up unless I unlock that thing.
So, once you get that down, it's a big thing. Yeah, so I've got that on there and some cheeky little licks and lessons on the modes, some chord progressions to look at. Yeah, so there's a few things on there, but the cage one is the big. People really like that. Yeah.
Very cool, and he's also got links to all his socials. Mike does a lot of Skype lessons. So if you want to connect with him, go to the contact tab on his website. Again, it's MikeBradleyMusic.com. He's looking for students. If you want to work with Mike, he doesn't really work with beginners. So like any intermediate and up, you should have some foundation first and connect him, let him know what you're looking to accomplish, and he'll get back to you and let you know if you guys are a fit. Also, you can DM him on Instagram. And I think, and his Instagram is Mike Bradley Official. And I think that's anything I missed, man.
No, I think you've ticked all the boxes, my friends. Yeah.
Awesome. And he has baked goods that are left over at the end of the day. Does your dad do that? What do you do with the baked goods that are left over?
He hates waste. He doesn't waste not, want not, But I imagine he actually, I know what he does. He feeds the birds.
Oh, does he? Yeah. I always think they fucked this up here. That Dunkin' Donuts, Dunkin' Donuts, they have that over there, right? So I think they used to have it here where they'd give it to, homeless people.
And rightly so, yeah.
And rightly so, right? Something happened where someone got sick and they sued. And so now they throw it out. I mean,
so a homeless person sued?
Somebody sued somebody, and it was probably like, I don't know what I would doubt a homeless person sued somebody. It was probably like someone poking through the guard. I don't know what happened, but somebody was poking. I don't know that, but they can't give that anymore. So I always think that was a shame.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow. Anyway, life in the big city, man. Anyway, man, thank you for everything. I really appreciate your time. And
thanks for having me. I'm a big fan of the show anyway, so it's been a real joy being on, man. It's been great. Thanks so much for having me.
You're welcome. It's my pleasure. Everybody, thank you so much for listening. If you enjoyed this interview, please share it on your socials. We appreciate your support. Thanks again to Mike Bradley for spending time with us. I appreciate it. Please check Mike out online. Again, it's MikeBradleyMusic.com and Official Mike Bradley. Sign up on his YouTube channel. It's really cool. And as well as his Instagram, which is Mike Bradley Official. Send him money, whatever you want. Just support Mike. Make sure you go to everyonelovesguitar.com. Sign up to get on our newsletter list so you and I can connect. And most important, remember that happiness is a choice. So choose wisely. Be nice, go play your guitar, and have fun. Next, I'm spacing out here. Till next time, peace and love, everybody. I'm out. We hope you enjoyed this show. If you did, subscribe to the Everyone Loves Guitar podcast, and you can do this online at everyonelovesguitar.com or on iTunes. And if you like the show, please leave us a 5-star positive review. The more 5-star reviews we get, the higher our show ranks, and higher rankings mean we get to continue speaking with cool, interesting guests on our show. We'll see you on the next episode, and until then, keep playing your guitar and have fun making music.